Hey, help me welcome to the show today, Tonni Lea. She's an expert event host. She's created some incredible events on leadership, personal development. The Healing Conference is one that I've done a lot with her. Tony's just an incredible event host and event planner. So if you're looking to plan an event, you got to listen to this interview. It's going to be great. How you doing, Tonni? I'm so glad to have you on the show.
Well, thank you, Curtis, for having me. I'm doing great. And how about you?
I'm looking forward to our next event we're hosting together
Oh,
here just in a couple of weeks, huh? A week.
yeah, I know.
Don't count on me to keep track of time. I I can help
Right?
with all the audio video stuff, but I'm not the guy you want planning your event. You build a reputation for creating life-changing events, including the Healing Conference. What drives your passion for planning the personal development and leadership conferences and other events that you're planning for people?
The journey that I went through. And because of the fact that I want to see other people not only, survive something, but thrive afterwards. So that really set me looking at, okay, so how could I do this without just doing a one-on-one and that's kind of like how the healing conference came about. Of course, I heard my father in heaven, give me words and tell me, how to do everything. And so that was my inspiration.
You brought me in a few years ago to do your videography for one of your conferences. I think for your very first conference after I had spoken at an event in San Antonio. We actually spoke together at the same event, right?
Yeah, we're going on, it'll be our fourth year. So it's hard to believe. Yeah.
For somebody hosting their first event, I mean, that's your career, your profession is you're a professional event planner. And I've loved seeing the way that you take care of absolutely everything from booking the venue to planning, whether it's catering or food or finding local restaurants that are able to work with you. Maybe they're providing a discount. Maybe it's some type of an advertising thing where they're sponsoring the event. But for somebody hosting their first event, how do you take the stress off their shoulders and make sure everything runs smoothly?
Well, hopefully they'll let me just do everything, right? Of course, when I do that, like the clients that I'm working with now, I want their opinion. They give me the basics of what they want to do with their event, what goals they have, what they want to establish, what they want to happen. And then I just take it from there. And of course, one of my clients is a little bit more involved because they want to know the whole aspect of everything, like where it's going to be and that type of stuff like that. But otherwise, I would just do it for them and have it ready for them.
I mean, you're planning events in other states. You live in Texas, right?
Yes.
This event that I'm co-hosting with you coming up here in Colorado, it always blows me away how, for me, I hate even scheduling my own airline flight, let alone, trying to book a hotel room or something. You end up with these events where you've booked out, you've got discounted rates for all of the attendees, for your speakers, different packages, you get really cool, whether it's gifts or giveaway type of stuff, sponsorship, where you've brought in sponsors and promoters and different people to help monetize the event. How did you get into that?
Well, I think what led me into knowing how to do all of this is that I started helping out with my class reunion like 30 some years ago. And so I helped the gentleman do that, my classmate, and that type of stuff. And then it ended up in my hands. And so when you try to, because our class was 292 people. So, trying to even put together to where there was 130 of us or whatever, I mean, that was a lot of work and stuff. So I just thoroughly enjoyed that and I learned a lot. And then, going to this conference, doing that very first one, and then you just kind of go through them and you just learn a lot of different ways to, contact people or ask people or, choose the venue, hotels, all that kind of things.
And you manage all of the logistics so that your clients can focus on delivering value and basically just making it a great event for their attendees. Is that something you enjoy? I mean, sounds like you like it. For me, I would rather get punched in the face, but
Oh,
I love seeing how you just put everything together like that. I mean, do you enjoy it or is it something you do because that's your career?
no, I do. And it's just a gift, I guess, that God give me, right? Just putting things together. And yeah, I do. I love it because I love meeting new people. That has been one of the funnest things about, since I moved here in Waco too, is just going out and meeting different people. And I'm not afraid any longer, you know, to go out and just meet people. But that's what's so exciting about when, you do it in another town, because I'm doing one for the client that's in San Antonio. So I don't know that much about San Antonio except for where we had our speaking engagement. But you just start looking and you just start, calling and making connections with people. And yeah, I do. I love it.
In my mind, it's kind of like you're almost like a travel agent. How they'll, if I'm going to book a vacation, I'm going, I don't want to have to deal with all of the finding a place to stay, a hotel, a flight, restaurants to eat at, the vacation spots I'm going to hit. If I call my buddy who's a travel agent, he can set up absolutely everything, and the amount that he charges is way less than what my time or stress would be worth to try to do it myself. And you're basically doing the same thing with events, right?
Right. That's funny that you put it that way. Thank you. I never thought of it that way. When you go to an event, now that I have an MC coming, I'm like, oh, I can relax. I don't have to do everything. So I could just imagine if someone would take my conference and they'd say, let me plan it all, let me do it. You would just enjoy it so much more. You'd be able to spend time with your speakers, with the people that come. You're not worried about, is this getting covered? Is this getting talked about? Is this? I come in and I say, let me do it all for you so you can go and enjoy. I would think that, hey, she's worth that because of the fact that I get to go spend time with the speakers, get to go and meet new people. I don't have to worry about, is everything getting put together, the hotels or any of that type of stuff. So it's a huge benefit. One of these days, maybe I'll have somebody, I can hire someone to do mine.
Mm. Put yourself out of business there if you decide you're not doing event planning anymore, huh?
I try it one time. That would be all.
One of the things that I love about you is your ability to, you just really connect with people. Anybody that knows you loves you. I mean, I haven't met anybody that doesn't like you. If they don't, they're probably not a good person. It might be like
Yeah, but man, my
like your dog doesn't like somebody, I actually know you're the MC that's going to be I guess doing the MC
Yes.
job for most of your upcoming events. Just a really good guy, great at highlighting people's, as speakers. When you're coming in to speak, he is phenomenal at bringing out the best and really making you appear to be the expert. Not just you, I mean, your speakers as well.
Absolutely.
But are you planning on having that same event MC? Is he available for other people to be able to bring in when do you book the MCs and stuff as well, or
I don't know. I would think so, and that would be a good question to find out from him when I talk to him, because wouldn't it be amazing? And because he asked me if he could have a lifetime contract, and I said, well, of course, it works for me, and even after I'm dead and gone, go ahead, continue it on, right? Because it's just the way, it should be, is just life should continue to go on, but. That would be awesome, wouldn't it? Yeah. So I would have that to add on. Absolutely.
And I love how you connect with people and just you're a problem solver where, if there's, for example, one of the events that we did a couple of years back here where one of the hotels was jerking us around, just really had some shady stuff going on, trying to way overcharge and getting in help, just figuring out how to negotiate, and finally ended up going to a different venue. But you just roll with the punches. And if that was my event that I was hosting, I cannot imagine the stress trying to deal with that. And you pray about it and roll with the punches, and not a single one of your attendees or even the speakers would have any clue what was going on with the problems there. But I could see you doing that for your clients as well, to where it's just, they just have a great event. People look at them like the rock star host, and you've taken care of all the hard work in the back end, right?
And I think that goes along with, for us that are entrepreneurs, right? Our journey in life teaches us so much that we're able to take it and we're able to use it in our business in a big productive way. And I'm just a warrior woman, so I have learned. Back then you would think sadly, but now it's like awesome. Had to just fight for things. right? To get them right, to make sure that they get done or any of that type of stuff. So I've learned a lot of good skills that way. And then also just relying on my Heavenly Father because He's going to take care of me. I mean, He just does. Time and time again, He's done that. And so I use that within my business. But when when you see something that's wrong, you want to make sure that it's right. So not only would I do that for myself, but I do that for my clients because people can be so scrupulous nowadays and they're just like, it's no biggie. But to me, that is a biggie. To me, everything is black and white. It's right or it's wrong. Definitely, I will fight for my clients.
The amount that they returned or it didn't end up charging
Right.
was, I mean, thousands and thousands of dollars. What, five figures?
Yes.
Crazy huge. And that's something where, again, you having, as a client to hire you, it would be amazing if they put it down on paper and figured, okay, what is your time worth trying to figure out how to host your own event versus hiring Tawny, who's gone through this, who's been through the trenches, who's had successes and failures in the industry.
Yep.
And really learned it. How do you turn your client's vision into a fully realized event that leaves a lasting impact?
By doing it right. By making it creative too, not like one of them, I was looking for a venue. They wanted it to be so different because it was a writing, creative writing. So you go and you find a venue that's like totally different, not within a hotel or that type of stuff. And you go and find some place that would be like stimulating to the mind and that type of stuff. So things like that, you just find the uniqueness of it and you make it creative, you make it fun, you make it lasting, and then you make it impressive.
Now, you've helped plan everything from small conferences, people's very first event, to large-scale conferences. How do you keep the experience personalized and meaningful for each new client?
Well, I guess I would say letting them enjoy it all, right? But because when I meet with them one-on-one, I write down what they want to do and all of that. Okay, so then what is your biggest heart's desire? What do you want to see come from this? When you listen to their heart, I think it's like anything else in life. When you listen to someone's heart, they're telling you what they want. And so that, like a dream come true or, however you want to put it, their heart's desire, that's your pinpoint right there. That's what you got to do. And you would hope by doing that, that you leave the lasting impression. Also, that they would refer me to someone else because this lady, she listens to you. She does what you want, not what she thinks she wants. And so I think that's also how you have to keep it personal. It's about them. It's not about anybody else. It's about them.
When we first met, like I said, we spoke at a different event. Neither of us had anything to do with the event except just being speakers at the event. But when we met and then you asked me to do your videography for the first event, I was thinking, okay, I'm just going to help this lady. At the time, you lived in Colorado, don't live that far away. But I had no idea that I would get connected and that first event would be such a life-changing, meaningful event for so many people. What would you say to someone who's maybe they've just attended an event, maybe they've just attended the Healing Conference or one of your other events, and they're thinking, really love to start my own conference. Maybe they don't have the confidence or not sure if they can or not, but what would you recommend if they're, I mean, is that something somebody should do, is go out and start their own conference, try it the first time, or what?
But it's not for everybody, I guess, but for me, and I'm just going to say that this was about, what I did was I heard my Heavenly Father ask me, and He just kept putting things in order. And so I knew I was going in the right direction. I had no idea that this was part of what I was going to be doing, and I just knew that you were the one I was supposed to ask. I mean, it was just the walking in faith. And if the person is a believer, that would be what I would recommend to them. Pray, listen, and walk in faith because He's going to equip you as He sends you. If they're not a believer, they still have the soul, the spirit. So go with what your gut is saying. Go with what your gut, says. And if it's something that you think that you really want to do, if you make a mistake, oh my goodness, that is just a learning experience. And there is no mistake that you can make that's going to be so bad that it can't be cleaned up or cleared up or, trial and error, right? It's how we learn life. So,
The other thing, though, if you're watching this right now, you're on Amazon Fire TV or watching it on one of our streaming partners, and you're watching this show and you're thinking, I really would like to start my own conference, reach out to Tonni Lea. Go to tonnilea.com/contact. She's got her personal cell phone number on there. I hope that's okay to share. But if they click the link, it's got an automated thing where it'll send Tonni a text. She checks every message. And I actually tested it out before this interview yesterday. If you're planning on it or you're even thinking about it, reach out to Tonni. She is absolutely not high pressure, won't try to close you. Kind of wish you would. You could make a lot more money if you'd close people a little bit better.
mm-hmm.
Reach out to Tonni. Get on that, like I said, tonnilea.com/contact. Talk to her about hosting your event. See if it's something that you're cut out to do, or if it's maybe something where you can hire her or work together, some kind of a partnership.
Yeah.
I have seen firsthand how you manage every detail behind the scenes. How do you ensure clients can truly enjoy their event without worrying about the logistics? I know we've kind of covered that already, but is there anything specific you do? Do you work with clients as far as asking them how much input they want to have, or you kind of just take over and do everything?
Yeah. How much do you want to be involved? Do you want me to take it and just go from beginning to end and then, just let you know the details, or you want to be involved with me? Because one of them, I mean, she was like, I have no idea. I've never done this before. So just go right ahead and do, since you know what you're doing. And the other one is like, she wants to be a little bit more involved, and know, like, and I think it's because it's also her birthday. So I think she wants to know a little bit more, so she's doing, the healing conference is what she's calling hers too, with the birthday celebration. So yeah.
Oh, cool.
But I'll work with you either way. But to be able to have your heart fulfilled, your desire fulfilled, but to also enjoy the journey. That's so important for people, to enjoy the journey. And that's why I do what I do.
Tonni, for anybody who's watching this right now on Amazon Fire TV, if you're watching this and you want to hire Tonni, or you want to just talk about, is it possible to host your own event? What could be the impact of that? How do they get in touch with you?
Well, probably the best way is to go to my website, because they can put the message on there and that connects me automatically. And that's tonnilea.com/contact.
I'll put a link in the show too, so you can see if you're watching this on the actual, there's a syndication website as well, but you can just click it and get right to her site to contact her.
Yep. Or they can just go through the whole website and see everything that I do and be a part of it.
I love that. Definitely reach out and get a hold of Tonni Lea. Again, she's got the contact link there, tonnilea.com/contact. Get a hold of her if you're looking to host your first event, or if you've already been hosting events and you need to scale it and make it larger, or just have a better quality experience. Tonni, thanks again so much for being on the show today. This was really great having you.
Thank you, Curtis. This has been awesome, and I look forward to getting tons of messages and calls.
See ya.
You too.